I never imagined the day would come when my wife, Emily, would look me straight in the eye and destroy everything we had built together. We had been married for 8 years, and though every day wasn't perfect, I believed we were strong, solid, steady, unshakable. That evening began like any other. I came home from work expecting dinner and maybe a light conversation about her day. Instead, she sat across from me at the table, a glass of wine in her hand, her eyes colder than I had ever seen. Then she said it, calm, deliberate, and cruel. "I'm with another man tonight. Don't bother waiting for me." My fork froze halfway to my mouth. Time itself seemed to stop. Her words struck me harder than any punch I could have taken. I blinked, trying to decide if this was some sick joke. But the smirk on her face told me otherwise. Emily wasn't ashamed. She wasn't apologetic. She was testing me, daring me to react, maybe expecting me to beg, plead, or explode in anger. Instead, I leaned back in my chair. My heart was pounding, but my face stayed perfectly calm. At that moment, I knew the woman I had married no longer existed. She had been hiding behind lies for far too long. And if she thought her cruel confession was going to break me, she was about to learn otherwise. I set my fork down gently, wiped my mouth with a napkin, and looked directly into her eyes. "Is that so?" I asked, my voice steady. Emily looked almost surprised I wasn't shouting. She raised her eyebrow, waiting for fireworks. "Yes," she replied defiantly. "I'm tired of pretending. I've been seeing someone else, and tonight I'm going to be with him." The venom in her tone was unmistakable, yet beneath it I caught a flicker of hesitation, like she hadn't prepared herself for my composure. I stood slowly, pushed my chair back, and walked over to the cupboard where we kept the wine. She watched every move, probably waiting for me to crack. Instead, I poured myself a glass, took a slow sip, and said, "Good. You're finally being honest. But let me be honest too. You won't be coming back here." Her smirk faltered. "What do you mean?" she asked, her voice suddenly softer. I turned to her, my gaze firm. "I mean when you walk out that door tonight to be with him, you don't come back. Ever." For the first time, her confidence wavered. She hadn't expected that. She wanted me to grovel, to fight for her, to beg her not to leave. Instead, I gave her the very rope she thought she was holding over me. "Pack a bag," I told her. "Or don't. Either way, this house won't be yours once you leave tonight." Her mouth opened, but no words came out. She looked like she couldn't reconcile the image of the man she thought she controlled with the man standing in front of her now. "I didn't think you'd react like this," she muttered. I laughed, an actual laugh. Bitter but freeing. "Of course not. You thought you could humiliate me, maybe keep me hanging on while you enjoyed someone else. But I'm not that man, Emily. You made your choice, and now I'm making mine." I pulled out my phone and sent a quick message to my lawyer friend. By morning, divorce papers would be in motion. "Oh, and by the way," I added, "everything in this house is in my name. Don't think you're walking away with half." Her face drained of color. Panic flickered in her eyes. Suddenly, her bravado was gone. "Wait, we don't have to do this," she said quickly, her voice trembling. "Maybe I was just angry. Maybe I didn't mean it that way." I shook my head. "No. You looked me in the eye and told me you were with another man. That wasn't anger, Emily. That was the truth. That was who you really are." Her excuses collapsed under the weight of her own words. And in the heavy silence that followed, I realized how far gone our marriage truly was. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't insult her. I didn't cry. I simply poured myself another glass of wine, sat back down, and let her sit with the crushing realization that she was no longer in control. She fidgeted, searching for something to say, but I cut her off. "Go," I said firmly. "You wanted him. Now you have him. But don't ever think you can crawl back into this house, or into my life, again." That night, Emily left, slamming the door behind her. I sat in the quiet house, finishing my wine, strangely calm. I wasn't broken. I was free. She thought her betrayal would destroy me, but instead, it liberated me. In the weeks that followed, the divorce was swift, clean, and completely in my favor. Friends who once envied our marriage were stunned by what she had done, but I didn't waste time explaining. I was already moving forward, ready to rebuild without her lies weighing me down. Months later, I ran into Emily at a mutual friends gathering. She looked drained, worn down. Nothing like the woman who once smirked at me across the table. When our eyes met, hers dropped immediately. She couldn't even hold my gaze. In that moment, I knew she finally understood. The night she told me she was with another man, she thought she had shattered me. Instead, my calm response shattered her illusion of power. My silence, my strength, and my refusal to break had left her with nothing but regret.